Those who want a good interaction, they will start their videos. And those who are busy undergoing surgery or you are performing surgery, you can keep off your video, or if you do not have smile on your face, make sure you switch off your video. Don't leave your house. Yeah. If you're starting a video, smile. If you recently had a fight with your husband, smile. If you have just scolded your children, smile. If you shouted at your junior at your office, you should laugh then. And if your manager has shouted on you, after you come back from the manager's room, you're embarrassed. What other people will think? She was shouting at me, he was shouting at me. What you should say? You come out and you tell to the people, actually, I was just standing there and he was fighting with his wife on phone. She was shouting on her husband on phone. I heard everything, dirty thing, but I'm not the one who will gossip about my boss. So that's why I'm not talking. So people don't know that actually you were the one who were the victim. Yeah. So you can enjoy that. And then you come out and laugh. Today we will do three things. One is how to read the book fast. The second is PTSD. And the third is history taking for PTSD. Yeah. So there are two, three, maybe 4, 5 videos in the book, in the history taking chapter. So one video is about 10-step history taking. Another video is about history taking for depression. One more video is for history taking for child. One more video is for history taking for a reserved adult, like a client who doesn't want to talk. Yeah. So what you should do. Then there are some icebreaker questions which you should ask to the client to open up the client and start a discussion. Most of the clients, they are like, they have some reservations while talking. How to read the book. Psychology book. Every chapter in this book is an emotional condition. For each emotional condition in the book, you will find 6 things. One is what are the diagnosis and symptoms? How to diagnose the client? How do you understand that tentatively this is a diagnosis by symptoms and signs? The second part is the medicine and side effect. If you're not from medical, or even if you're from medical, you can skip that, because as a counselor, you don't need to know the name of the medicines. But you should know some side effect of the medicines, because those are the common things which a client may ask you. And if you're aware of some of the common side effects of the medicine, then you can engage the client better. I will tell you how. The third part, how to talk to the client. How a conversation takes place between a client and a counselor. The fourth, what are the common questions a client will ask you, and what are the good answers you should give. Don't give your answers in one line. Don't give your answers in one statement. There is a paragraph, the whole chapter, the whole page, 2, 3 pages for each question. You will give that. The fifth part is what are the tips for lifestyle changes, this changes, that changes. You will tell to the client for that particular condition. So for every chapter, for every condition, there are different things. Basically, how to manage the client. Yeah. So the management of the condition. The last part is what you should tell to the client, one statement that client comes back to you next time. You want to earn money, right? So if you want to earn money, you want to help the client completely. Maybe it takes 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 4 sessions, 5 sessions. As long as the client requires you, right? But now there is a problem. So what is the problem? Someone will remind me. Who will remind? Supriya will remind me. Priya Raman will remind me what is the problem when you want to engage the client for longer number of sessions, more number of sessions. So now coming back to the point of the side effects of the medicine, why you should know some common side effect, because psychiatrist has prescribed there are 2 types of clients. One client, they will directly come to the counselor. Another client, they will go to psychiatrist and then they come to the counselor. So in this scenario, we're talking of the client who has already visited psychiatrist and now having a side effect of medicines and wants to drop from the medicines, means stop the medicine, drop out from the treatment plan. So your objective is to reinforce to the client what is your role, how you are going to help, and why you should stick to the medicines and how the side effect is same, expected. The another client who has come directly to you. So the important thing is to make the client realize that medicines are not always required. Then there are side effects. Then beneficial effect, it weans off. You will develop dependency, you will develop resistance to the same dose. You will need to increase the dose. That's why you should first try with me. If it doesn't work, then go to psychiatrist. But there are certain conditions where psychiatric medications are required from the beginning. So we understand this. To understand this, you should know the script, what I'm talking now. This will be visible on the channel, so you can watch it again. No need to write the notes. Listen to now. When you write the notes, you are closed. And anyways, that page which you are writing, it is going to get into the dustbin by the end of the day. Yeah. So your brain is a better paper. When you start a medicine, so there are two things, the beneficial effect and the side effects. Okay. So the problem is when you start the medicines, the side effects immediately begin. The immediately first things patient will see is not the benefit, the side effect. And the side effects will go and slowly it will wane off slowly, slow, but it will increase faster. It will stay longer. And as long as the client is taking, there are some side effects which will stay as long as the client is taking the medicines. It is a serious problem. So as long as you take the medicine, there are some side effects, you have to live with that. I don't want to live this life. Have you seen some patients, those who take antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicines? Hey, you are taking antidepressant to relieve yourself of depression and you're living a zombie life, sleeping 18 hours a day. Yeah, you are a zombie. No, you don't want that life. Then the beneficial effect, it takes 21 days to reach. So for first 21 days, there 3 weeks, there is no effect. Then slowly the effect starts getting up. So the client has to suffer, only suffer for first 21 days. First 21 days, there is no benefit, only suffering, only side effect. Then after 21 days, there are side effects plus some benefit. Then this benefit will reach plateau. Serious problem. Then this benefit will decrease with the same dose. Now, to reach this plateau again, to get the maximum benefit again, you will have to increase your dose. With the increased dose, the benefit will improve, but the side effect will also increase. So you were a zombie earlier, now you are a dead zombie now. So you are a bad zombie. You should not live that life. It's not required to live that life. So is there some solution I have? So if you explain this to the client and tell the client that it is expected, your doctor has decided, your psychiatrist has decided these medicines, continue these medicines, but you continue to visit me. I'm going to help you certain ways. And through my help, you will be able to reduce the dose of your medicines and wean off. You cannot continue to take the medicines for lifetime, simply because there are so many side effects and you are going to develop the resistance to the same dose. So you will need to increase your dose. So you will need my help. Now it is time you decide. You take my help now and wean off your medicines in 9 months, 6 months, or you suffer for next 5 years, 6 years and stay poor, stay fighting, stay unhappy, and then come back to me. I'm here, no problem. And after 5 years, I'm going to charge you more. So this last statement is typically for a client who is like, your fees is more. Yeah, my fees is more because I'm the best. I can give you 5 numbers of my competitors. You try with them. And if then come to me, and if you like me better, you ask all the refund from them and you pay that amount plus my fees to me. You like it? I'm that confident because I have the record of my clients getting the benefit of it. So you need to convince the client that you're good. Now, what is the psychology counseling versus psychotherapy? Okay. Now, in the counseling, what you do, the present course which you're doing, psychotherapy course is, it happens on the Sunday classes, 11:30 a.m. It's a separate program. Now, in psychology counseling, what you do, you discuss with the client. So I'm answering the question, what is a problem? When you want to engage the client for a longer time, more number of sessions, you want to help the client completely and permanently. right? So what is the solution for that? That problem we are answering. So psychology counseling versus psychotherapy. So in psychology counseling, you engage the client, you understand what is their problem, you take the history, you tell them what to do, you manage the client, you talk to the client, and you tell them some changes in their modifications in their lifestyle and all those things, yeah, thinking pattern and all. And that's in this way, you may be able to engage a client for 2 or 3 sessions. In the market, most of the counselors, even those who have done their MSc, Masters, and PhD, because the syllabus in India for most of the universities outside also is so theoretical, they have not learned how to talk to the client at all. So when you read this book, you are able to actually understand how to actually talk to the client for every condition. Each condition, there is a separate conversation. Those who have done their masters and PhD, they have read 18, 20, 30 books. And when they read this book, they say, sir, this book actually gives the practical knowledge. All other books, they talks of theories of counseling and models of counseling. So in this, you will learn how to engage the client, how to talk, and how to manage them for every condition. So because you are reading this book, you will be able to follow these steps and engage the client for 2, 3 sessions. But when you learn psychotherapy, you have a healing plan. You do start with the counseling, first 2, 3 sessions, taking history, understanding, telling them what to do. Then you tell them that there is a path for you. There is a psychotherapy, there is experiential psychotherapy, neuroplasticity, psychodynamics, subcognitive therapy, CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, which I have learned in Sunday classes. And when I use these methods on you, you will be healed completely and permanently. And you have a healing plan for 5 to 10 sessions. Typically, a 10 session plan is there. And when you are talking just counseling, you can charge, depending on the city you stay, you can charge 500 rupees to 1500 per session, depending on the client's budget and your confidence. And when you do psychotherapy, you can charge 1500 rupees to 3500 rupees per session. So presently, I have 500 freelancers who are attached with me. Every one of them have gone to the stage of internship with me, online internship, where they are managing the clients as per their convenient time. All these 500 people, they are earning in the range of 20,000 to 1 lakh per month, depending on number of hours they give and all those things. And out of this, around 60 are my full-time employees. So a typical my employee full-time, if she's doing counseling, she will charge 1500 rupees per session. If she's doing psychotherapy, depending on the client's budget and the scenario, she will charge 3,500 to 5,000 per session. Yeah, that's the market rate. Okay. Now, when you charge almost double amount, when you have a healing plan of 5 to 10 sessions, when you can tell the client that I can do certain methods on you that will heal you completely and permanently. See, your problem is not that you are having anxiety and stress and depression and fear. You were not born like this. When you were a teenager, you were not like this. Before your marriage, you were not like this. There happened as one day in your life, suddenly you got married, and the next day onwards, you had the anxiety, stress, depression, all the worries of your life. Right, right, right. True, true. Okay. So maybe you had a breakup before marriage, even after marriage, or you had a fight at your workplace, or you were fired from your job, or you had an emotional trauma, you were embarrassed, you were betrayed by someone, or those who are blinking their eyes, you know what you mean. Who was that someone in your life? Or you did something so horrible, right? You feel guilty. Or some circumstances outside your control happened to you. It is expected to happen. It is life. You are a human being enjoying all this grief and joys, happiness. It is expected to happen. But the question is, can you manage this part and still grow in your life? That is a question. So for that, there are two answers. One is, what is your emotional bank balance? Okay. Someone is betrayed, either in business, job, fired, or love. One person succumbs to it, falls, never rises. Okay. The another person rises, or even fights or rises. The reason is not because of anything else. The reason not because of your education, literacy, your background support, family support. No. The reason is, what is your emotional bank balance? Someone who has high emotional bank balance, they will fight. They can adjust to this trauma. Yeah. You went to a war, you came back, a soldier came back. So for you, the war was that betrayal, that incident, that circumstance, something happened in your life, some trauma, maybe accident or emotional trauma, something. And you came back. After you came back, you succumbed to it. You had a flashback of it. You succumbed to it because you had a low emotional bank balance. But there is another version of you who has a high emotional bank balance. You are able to survive with that, move over, forget it, or fight, whatever is your nature. So the question is, can you increase your emotional bank balance? So there is a yes. In Sunday classes, I teach you some methods. Those methods are our copyright, not available outside. And in those methods, these are psychodynamic methods. In these psychodynamic methods, it helps you to increase your emotional bank balance. Okay. So that all your daily sufferings of your marriage, job, all those things, troubles of your life, you are able to manage them very well. Because you have high emotional bank balance and you can focus your mind on the bigger picture, bigger things. You are not affected by smaller things. That is a one aspect to increase your emotional bank balance by psychodynamic methods. The second aspect is you are having the symptoms, this turbulence in your life, you have emotional turbulence. Anything, anxiety, stress, fear, guilt, shame, anything, okay? Insomnia, all those things. You have this emotional turbulence happening daily. It's now there are trigger factors. There are certain trigger factors which happens because of it happens. Now, why this trigger is leading you to have emotional turbulence? Because you had certain emotional trauma. What is the beginning? How it started? What is the root cause of your all emotional turbulence? This root cause is your emotional trauma. Some event, some incidents. That memory is so strong deep inside that you are still getting disturbance because of even small trigger. If you had incidents 6 months back and you are getting flashbacks of it, you are having PTSD. If you had incidents 1 year back, actually 9 months back, and you are having dreams about it, you are having PTSD. You are trapped in it. So, can I come out of this emotional trauma? I want to break free. I want to release myself. I want to move on. I want to change my memory. I want to replace my memory. How do you store your memories? In the form of images. Memories are not like the statements. Yeah. So you get the flashbacks. You don't get the flash pages. So the memories are stored as the images. And how the memories are stored? They're stored as synapses. Okay. So we'll come to the synapses part. Now, to change your memory, to change your images, to break free of the trauma, to release yourself from emotional trauma, that comes experiential psychotherapy, which you learn in the Sunday classes, which are our copyright methods. And another part is neuroplasticity. So what is neuroplasticity? Whenever you have certain experience, either you read, watch, you experience something, you feel something, yeah, you develop a bond. So that memory, that experience is stored as synapse. So there are neurons in the brain. These two neurons, they come together and form a synapse in a particular way. If they form a synapse in this way, the experience is different. If they form it different, this way, different experience. Now, because of this particular synapse, there are billions of synapses. Because of this, if some trigger comes, your response is different. If you have to take some life decisions, your decision making is different. If you have to think of certain aspect, your thinking pattern is different. Now, imagine a scenario where you change the synapses from here to here. That you become the productive member of the society. You are able to do things which you want to do. You can think correctly. You can take correct decisions. You can do correct things. Right? Imagine you have certain habits, certain rituals, certain way of thinking, certain way of doing certain things. Why? Because your mind is like a forest. In that forest, all these neurons, these are the trees, these are the bushes. And now, today, you are walking through some narrow path made through these bushes and the neurons, trees. Now you want it to correct it. So you have to break some bushes. You have to break some trees. You have to break some neurons and from some new synapses. It happens. It happens in the neuroplasticity. Again, it is a part of Sunday classes. Experiential psychotherapy. Psychodynamics or experiential psychotherapy. After this program, you get the certificate and you can write in your profile. You are psychotherapist. That attracts more clients. You are able to help a client heal completely and permanently. So you earn 10 times more. And this program is a spiritual journey to heal yourself. You also get healed. PTSD. What is PTSD? Write down in the chat. What is PTSD? So what you are writing is the full form of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Very good. Good start. Now, what is post-traumatic stress disorder? There are some people who are going to write PTSD actually now. So there has been a trauma. There has been an incident in your life where there were two options. Either you fight or you run away. Now that trauma is so much big that your body system is frozen in that. If you decide to fight, you are frozen in the fight mode. So everyone, anyone, you engage in fight, arguments. You engage with fight with your inner self. You engage with fight with anyone and everyone, including your family, relatives, workplace, everywhere, even in your traveling. If you decide to run away from a particular situation, so you are so much trapped in that you are always running away from things. You are running away from your responsibilities. You are running away from taking decisions, taking certain steps, being bold. Yeah. Running away from fighting with your own beliefs, changing your beliefs. Have you seen some people, they leave their responsibilities, they run away, they want to run away. Yeah, that is their coping mechanism because they had undergone such a stress. Now, how it is reflected, PTSD? In PTSD, even if incidents has happened 6 months back and you are still getting the flashbacks, that is PTSD. If an event has occurred 9 months back and you are still getting the dreams of it, that is PTSD. Okay. You're not moved on from it. It may be a small incident. It may be a big incident. It's not necessary for PTSD that you should become a soldier and fight in the war and then only you have PTSD. No, you are fired from your job. You were embarrassed in your office place. You were bullied as a child. You were body shamed by someone. Yeah. Your mother beat you. You broke a toy. Your mother came and beat you. Next time onwards, you don't give a correct answer. You blame your broken toy on someone else. So as an adult, you learn how to blame on someone else all your problems. You are trapped in that moment, yeah, because your mother beat you. So now, other than the dreams and the flashbacks, there may be certain similar incidents or less similar incidents also, you still get affected. You get emotional turbulence. There is certain things you need to do, but you avoid it. There is a certain way you need to act, but you act differently because your synapses are made in this way. So you're responding, you're reacting to the situation. You're not responding it correctly. You get tremors, sweaty, palpitation on certain trigger factors. Why? You were not like this. There was once upon a time when you were not married, living happy life, you didn't have any emotional turbulence. Why it started? Because there was some incidents that happened. And then any small trigger that is leading to your emotional turbulence. And you think that that person is affecting you, that incident is affecting you, that environment is affecting you. It's not that. It's that old past trauma, which you need to find out, which you need to heal. Now, traumas are of three types. Emotional traumas are of three types. One, that is forgotten, deep, buried inside. You should not touch it. Forget it. The client has moved on and the client has forgotten for it. This time, the client has come for something else. Your objective is not to heal the client completely. I am going to refresh your memory, completely erase, control, delete, alter, and then restart your life. Even God cannot do that. Even when Vishnu took the form of Rama, he had to suffer so much. He used to cry, he used to get disappointed, completely frustrated, everything. Yeah. Even Ram could not escape it. We are the human beings. We cannot escape it. You should have some traumas. It is okay to have some traumas and move ahead of it. It is not okay that your past trauma is affecting you presently. If it is happening, then you need healing. That is a second type of trauma. That the past trauma that is give in either with triggers or without triggers that is affecting you presently and affecting you, causing you emotional turbulence that needs healing. Typically, most of the times, your clients will be able to identify that their present symptoms are happening because of these trigger factors, and these trigger factors are because of this past trauma. So there are three things when you're taking the history. Today, you watch the video. Go to the history taking chapter in this book. There is a QR code. Scan that QR code. And while you are eating or doing your chores or getting ready to sleep, listen to that video. Yeah? And you will understand that there are three components: the symptoms, the trigger factors, the emotional trauma. So if this emotional trauma is leading to your present symptoms, present emotional turbulence, it needs healing. The third type of trauma is a good trauma. The client or you are using this trauma to channelize your energy to do something good. Yeah. Your girlfriend left you because you were not rich, because parents said not to marry a poor boy. That's why you became rich. Yeah. You were removed from an art class and they called you a dumb student. You are not creative and you started a Walt Disney. Yeah. Disney studio. You had a breakdown 13 times and your girlfriend left you and then you became the president. You were fired from the job multiple times. Yeah, every company you joined, you fired from. And that's why you started your own company, Mark Cuban. Because you were not fit to work, you were socially awkward, you were not fit to work in particular company or many companies where you interviewed. That's why you decided to start your own companies, Elon Musk. You were called a dumb child in your school by each and every teacher. You won the Nobel Prize, Einstein. So it's good. You have the emotional trauma. Yeah. Someone called you, you are fat. Oh, you decided to start running and doing jump and then getting ready and getting the shape and marry a better person, that person. Yeah. So all those things. Yeah. You were fired from a job, you started on your own or you got into a better job. Yeah. So this is a third type of emotional trauma where you are using this emotional trauma to channelize your energy to do something good. How many of you think you have OCD? Write down in the chat. I have OCD. How many of you think, after reading the chapter, especially, the beautiful part of this book is that when you read the chapter, most of the conditions you think that I have this condition. Yeah. And all the horrible chapters which you have, you will think that these conditions are present in your spouse or in-laws, typically the in-laws. Yeah. All the schizophrenias, personality disorders, narcissism. Yeah. Either you blame it on your spouse or in-laws. So I will ask that question next. So if you have OCD, that's a gift. Your mind is capable of thinking particular things in particular manner. Your mind wants to see particular things arranged. Yeah, utilize it. Utilize this gift for painting, drawing, things, all those things what you want. Yeah. So what all those things which you want to do, you can utilize your gift for that. And either or you can learn some fluid music, writing books, all those things you can do. OCD. What is wrong in OCD? Wrong is you enforce your OCD in on someone else. I want you to arrange things. She's not having OCD. You arrange yourself. Why you're forcing? But OCD has a problem. Anxiety, depression. You have to manage that part. So with good emotional bank balance, you can manage. To increase your emotional bank balance, there are two ways. One is psychodynamic methods. Another is Actico Pro. Now, what is Actico Pro? Actico Pro is a probiotic powder which I have formulated, and I have applied for commercial license for it. This commercial license will come in few months, and then you will be able to buy in the open market. As of now, if you want, you can buy, pre-order it. So you will get 50% MRP rate. So if you have good emotional bank balance, then you can manage this ups and downs of any condition. It's life. You should have ups and downs. Otherwise, what is the fun of? But when you have ups and downs, you should know that this up should not be so up, down should not be so down. Otherwise, it is bipolar disorder. Anyone here thinks they have the bipolar disorder? Because you have the ups and the downs. So what you need to do is you need to reduce your ups so that people don't think you are a maniac. You should be crazy, but you should not be maniac. And you should not have so big down that you think that you have depression. People will not understand if you have depression. Don't care. Yeah. How many of you think their in-laws or their spouse have any of the personality disorder or schizophrenia? Any of this thing? If it is true, blink your eyes. If you are bold enough, you can write in this chat as well. No problem. Make sure no one is reading your things. Yeah. Hey, don't read her. Hey, yes, write down freely. Don't worry. Yes, he's not watching now. Yeah. Most of the husbands, they started looking at your screen. Hey, she's blinking her eyes or what? It's okay. Oh, there are some husbands standing in the back and they're blinking their eyes. Oh, boss, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I know my students. Yes, some of them are, yeah, hopeless. So we are talking of the in-laws actually. That's so fun to talk. Gossiping is the best part. It creates boost our happy hormones. So what are the happy hormones? What are the four happy hormones? Dopamine. Okay. So we'll come to that later. Oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. Okay. In the next class, you remind me, we'll take that. Come back on the topic. Hey, what is the topic? So these are the full-fledged symptoms of ADHD. So talking something and then scrolling around and then coming back, trying to watch the video on laptop, TV, mobile, all three together, talking to someone, playing the video, playing something with the child, doing all stupid things. Yeah. So this is a classic symptom of ADHD. You have to try to control yourself. PTSD. So we learned what is the problem, how PTSD happened, the cause. We learned what are the symptoms, how to identify the client from the history. Now, how to manage this client. Okay. Now, to manage this client, if we are calling it PTSD, definitely this is a second kind of trauma where this trauma is affecting your present life, present emotional turbulence. You are not able to do things good. You are not living your happy life. You are not able to work. You are not able to earn. You are not able to grow. You are not feeling happy here. Yeah, that is PTSD. Yeah. So I will not ask that question because this is not a marriage counseling class. In the marriage counseling class, I typically ask that question that, okay, read this relate pillar concept, then do the test, and then find out what is the problem between you and the couple. So when you use this relate pillar concept, you are able to actually identify what is the problem between you and, uh, I mean, the client and their spouse. Okay. So you should not, at this stage, not try to identify what is the problem between you and your spouse. Already you are trapped. What sense it is going to be? Okay. So it is for your clients actually. And when you use this tools, relate pillar tools for your marriage counseling clients, you can earn 20 to 30,000 per client because most of the marriage counselors in the market, they talk from their own wisdom. They don't know what they're talking. Either they watch some Saas Bahu serial or they talk from their own broken marriages. Okay. So I think you should do this with your husband. Hey, who are you to think? Let her think. So this relate pillar concept helps you identify 25 problems with your client and spouse. Those problems can be compatibility, trust, respect, love, goal sharing, financial goal sharing, parenting style, all those things. Yeah. Intimacy, affection, all those. So what is the problem between you? I will use this relate concept and tell you what is your problem. And to solve the problems of, yeah, for now I identified the problem, scientific way. Yeah, you have identified the problem scientific way between you and your spouse. Now to solve the problem, there are more than 300 couple activities, actually 500, more than 300 couple activities to solve the problem for each of the problem. Each of the problem, there are around 20 to 25 activities. Okay. Yeah. If it is 15 into 25, how much it is? Anyone good in maths? 300. Okay. So activities are more than 500 actually. So the normal question I ask is, which one of you are those, or you have the presently active client who has her PTSD because of who is your client, he or she who has PTSD because of the marriage? So that's the question typically I ask in the marriage counseling classes. But this is a psychology counseling, so we don't want to create marriage counseling clients here. Yeah, that is definitely not the objective. Yeah, so that is definitely not the objective with this. The objective is you should read this book. Yeah, so you will love it. But don't use compatibility test on your spouse because the time for that is gone, and the author is not responsible for divorce if you use this test on your spouse, because your spouse will definitely fail. Don't let them use it on you also, even though you will pass. Yeah, because you are my student, so you will pass. You have those blessings. Now for PTSD, we are working on the second type of emotional trauma. Okay. So typically PTSD client comes and says that they are having this tremors, anxiety, depression, and they are not able to grow in their life. They're not feeling happy. Then you should ask, what is your trigger factor? When it happens, basically. Okay. So when it happens, what you do, what someone does, what something happens, then it happens. What is that scenario? Okay. Or what is that doesn't happen, then you have this emotional turbulence. What is it? What is your trigger factor? Then they will tell you certain things. Then ask them that, are you able to link your this trigger factor with certain event, certain circumstances? The client, most of the client, they don't come and say, hey, I have PTSD, treat me. No. So you have to identify that it is PTSD, because most of the client, they have forgotten that they have certain event linked to their triggers and this present turbulence. Okay. Now, once you identify that, then you will use, you will have a conversation with the client in the way which is mentioned in the book. You will do the management of the client as per what is mentioned in the book. Yeah. If you are learned psychotherapy in the Sunday classes, you are called psychotherapist, and then you can tell the client, see, I understand what is your scenario. Now, I will do certain methods on you. I will tell you certain things to do that will heal your this emotional trauma completely or permanently. Explain the client that this concept of how the images are stored, how the memories are stored. Explain to the client the concept of neuroplasticity and how this changes synapses, neuroplasticity, plastic surgery of the neurons. It helps you to change your reaction or response to the same scenario. Okay. In psychotherapy, you also learn the CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. But after learning that, I tell you that CBT needs a highly motivated client. Okay. Now, most of the clients, all of the clients, a psychology counselor is managing. None of them are motivated enough. Okay. Yeah. So a depressed client comes to you and say that, hey, you do one thing. You stop thinking that you are depressed. You start thinking you are happy, and then you will be happy. And she's like, yeah. So cognitive behavior therapy, it talks about that you think in a particular way, behave in a particular way, so that if you think in a particular way, you will behave in a particular way. If you behave in a particular way, you will think in a particular way. But for this, you need a highly motivated, encouraged client. And such clients are typically in a leadership position, management position, and you are doing their executive coaching, not the psychology counseling. Psychology counseling do not, CBT does not work on psychology counseling clients because of this reason, because they drop out. If you tell a client, okay, come with me, sit with me, fill this form, and we will make some assignment for you, and you go and do assignment. The client is like, yes, ma'am, I will go and do the assignment and will never come back. Yeah. So the client drops out. And if the client drops out, then there is a further problem. Client is suffering and they think that all psychology counselors are useless. They tell to do certain things and fill the form and do some assignment. I don't want to do this. I want to get healed. Okay, what is the solution? Medicines. Okay, what is the solution? Drugs or some abuse substance. Yeah. So that's why you don't spoil a client's life. Yeah? So that's why you use neuroplasticity, experiential psychotherapy, subcognitive therapy, and psychodynamics. Now, some people talk of exposure therapy. Okay. Imagine a victim of abuse. Are you going to expose her to certain videos and films and say that you watch this? What stupid? Someone is afraid of height. No, no, you go bungee jumping. Madam, first you go. First you tell me what is your fear and you do that. Show me your exposure therapy really works. The problem with the exposure therapy is that there is no data, scientific data or evidence that it works. Then there is no evidence to show that it will work after first session or fifth session. I have done exposure for 5 sessions. Still I am suffering. You fool, you made me suffer for 5 times. Nothing has happened and I'm suffering more now. Right? And you took money also. The another problem is that if you do exposure therapy for anything, any small thing or big thing, one session and the client drops out, there is a flare of the events. There is a flare up of memories. Everything comes up. The old emotional trauma that was maybe 80%, 60%, 70%, it now becomes 120%. Right? The exposure therapy was a time when people did not know anything else other than that. The CBT was at a time when people did not know anything other than that. Now, there are better modalities which are available. Experiential psychotherapy, neuroplasticity, psychodynamics, these are the better modalities, which you can use it on a client, but even if the client is non-cooperative, non-motivated, because the client has to come and sit and experience. Please ask questions. Are there any students who are attending today's class and in Sunday classes also? How is your experience? Psychotherapy students, either you are finished or you are still attending or you are continuing to attend, whatever is your write down how is your experience. So is that program healing you as well? So that's a question. Are you learning things, methods which others in your city do not know, and you are able to heal someone completely and permanently? Are you able to change the life of someone? Please ask questions. Please ask some questions. Some stupid question I want. You know why stupid and foolish questions? Because these are the most important question, and everyone has this foolish question, but they are afraid to ask. Yeah. Someone who asks foolish and stupid question, they are my favorite because you have the courage to ask that question, and I will sincerely answer it. Those who typically ask in this chat how to apply for those classes, they never ever join, even if they have money. That is my experience. Those who are interested, they WhatsApp me silently. They don't show in the world, I'm interested. Surely you are interested, but because your synapses are connected this way, you will never ever join. You want to stop your progress. So those who are really interested, they WhatsApp me during my timing, Monday to Friday, 1 to 5. And after 5, if you have the need to WhatsApp, you should visit your nearest hospital or immediately pay the fees. And those who want to join, then they talk to me, know the details. They read in the book. They read in the book, but details in the journey. It's a 6 months program, dear. And you get a certificate which you can use for your own practice as well. At the end, and you're called psychotherapist. And you learn the methods which others typically in the client circle they do not know. Because every year I train only 30 people. And someone will help me. What is the page number of PTSD chapter? Oh yeah, page number 100. Before that, page number 100, there is the story, no shirt. The secret of happiness is having no shirt. And before that, there is a detail of the program, masterclass, experiential psychotherapy and psychodynamics. So anyone who's interested in the story, no shirt, not anyone, if most people, if or I have done this for this present batch. So you should read these stories to yourself, to your clients, to your family, children, or to have a better engaging discussion. Yeah. When you're giving a PPT or when you are talking to someone, it's a good way to engage them. If you want to tell someone that you are a schizophrenic, so you can tell them the story of 100 mirrors. Yeah. So start, if you want to say someone politely, you have schizophrenia in your workplace or at your house, home. So you can tell them that, there is one interesting story I read about someone trapped in the 100 mirrors. Yeah. And then you tell them the complete story and then say that I think sometimes think that you are that trap person. So I will help you come out of. Yeah. And you are the person who is trying to, and then they will ask that, okay, which one are you? Which story applies to you? There are many stories you can talk of. when it rains, when Dizzy plays, it rains. I have the Dizzy here. I will show you. Um, but I have not practiced it since 1 year, so I'm not so good. But I can show it to you. Maybe I will try first. And secret of happiness is having no shirt. Then there are many stories like thinking in the box. Yeah. At a workplace, everyone is like thinking outside the box. Hey, what thinking outside the box? Yeah. I cannot think also. Yeah. What power you have thinking? I do not have that also. I'm just average person. Yeah. And I want to think inside the box because everyone is thinking outside. I will think inside. So that's a good story. Then defeating someone with one blow. It's a good story. Then there are many more. Which one is your favorite story? Write down in the chat. Abundance principle. Okay. More. Which one? Which one is your favorite story? Are you God's wife? Beautiful story. Very good. Muskan, you are reading the book. Wow. I thought you are not reading. The Elephant and the Pig. Okay. Wow. That's good. Then don't position yourself in your life. Yeah. That platter, the paneer, and the toothpicks, right? Pebbles. Yeah. Spilling cup. That's the best story. Spilling cup. That reflects. That opens you up. That is the beginning of the book. So in the PTSD chapter, yeah, inside the bag. So you're thinking outside the box. Spilling cup, 100 mirrors. Okay, very good. Very good. So each one is special. Yeah. So a boy with one arm and wants to learn kung fu and all those things. Each one is special. Wow, Pratibha, I think we are connected. Huh? So you and me read the same story together. Now, in the PTSD chapter, you can read yourself how you should talk to the client, counselor to the client. There is a paragraph, there is a page for that, and then how to manage the PTSD. Yeah, Namrata, very good. To give, you don't have to be wait to be rich. Uh, sometimes you don't need certain things in your life, right? What do? Write on the chat. You have an old book, old pen, pencil, eraser, books, toys of your children, old clothes. What do? You give it away. Yeah. And then you think, yeah, I have done some charity. It's not charity. It's not a donation. You got rid of it. Yeah. Your objective is not to donate. Your objective is not to help someone. Your objective is to get rid of it anyhow and anyway. Yeah. So don't fool yourself. If you want to donate to someone, you will give something what you want, what you like. Yeah. So recently we visited one anath ashram. Okay. And I asked the officer over there, uh, what is there something required for the ashram? He said, no, nothing is required. We have everything. I said, wow, that's good. I like this answer very much because many people they're like, if someone comes for a donation, they're like, yeah, we want this, we want this, we want this. Yeah. So he was like, no, we have everything we need and we don't need anything. Okay. But if you want to give it something from your own, you can. I was like, okay, I like this answer. Very good, very good. So I decided to give some rice and oil. Now we went to the shop immediately to buy some rice and oil. So I asked the lowest price oil, the lowest price rice. And as soon as I did that, that boy, that uh, shop boy, yeah, he took out some oil and rice. And I was like, such a low quality. And I laughed at myself, thinking that when it is time to give something, yeah, so I'm thinking of the lowest cost. That approach is wrong. I should be giving them what I eat at my home. But then, if I give them what I eat at my home, Instead of 5 kg rice, I can buy only 1 kg rice. Yeah. So, okay, this approach is okay, but the intention was wrong. The approach to buy the lowest cost price item is okay, but the intention to give them this is wrong. So what should I do? To remove my guilt, I moved one step up while maintaining the same quantity. The budget has increased now. So one step up. Okay, I did not like this rice. So you give a better rice, which is not 50 rupees per kg, maybe 60 rupees per kg. Yeah. So that I can go back home and sleep better. And oil, it's okay as long as it is refined oil and it is all this branded and everything. Yeah, it's okay. Choose your battle wisely is the best story. One of the best story. So then we have a protocol at our home. I'm not suggesting you should do that. It depends on your own mindset. If you have some leftover food and you don't want to eat, you give it to your maid. Yeah. We have a protocol. We will never ever do that. There are two reasons for this. One reason is One reason is that you should not give something that you don't want to eat yourself, because she's going to feed her children and something. Yeah. If something happens to them, then there is a legal case, or she will leave you. Okay. And that trauma you cannot manage. Your maid has left you. That is the biggest trauma. Yeah. Uh, then the second problem is that, in my personal experience, so if you feed a maid, yeah, if you keep her so happy, like a family member, there may be some angel maids I have not seen yet, but all our maids, whenever we have done that with those maids, that feed them the garam, the hot food, and then next week when you need them, yeah, there is a function, there are relatives coming, you have to come. Don't, okay, don't miss that day. She will not come. You know why? Why? Because I thought over it multiple times. Multiple times we had done the same mistake. Then I thought over it. Why this is happening? Are we doing some mistake? Should we feed her every day? No, that is not a expectation. What is the problem? I tell you the problem. The problem is the pyramid. What do you want in your life? You want food, clothing, shelter, education, knowledge. Then you want to reach ultimate goal. Whatever is your ultimate goal. For a maid, her ultimate goal is to eat the hot food cooked by my bhabhi, right? So for her ultimate goal is that. As soon as she has reached that goal, she will not abide by your request. Before that, if you have 10 guests coming and you tell her that 10 guests are coming, she will come. But after this incident, if you have 5 guests coming and you tell her that 2 guests are coming, she will not come. That is my personal experience each and every time. You may have some angel meds. Then I learned this problem is not with maids. This problem is with everyone. Everyone. If you are a HR professional, you think, is it happening in your company? Have you done that? If you are a working professional, have you done that? I will give you example. Don't lie. Huh? You start looking for a job after getting the increment. Hey, you wanted more money, right? You wanted this job, you are enjoying it, and after you got the increment, you are trying to look for another job. Yeah. So this boils down to the maid mentality. So I have labeled it the maid mentality, MAID. Yeah. So all those people who are the maid mentality, they will start looking for a job as soon as they get the increment. So in my company, we have a policy. If you get an increment, you have to sign another bond. First joining, there is a bond. Without bond, there is no discussion also. Yeah. And for increment, there is a bond. Some people always are there to betray. And when they betray, you have to laugh. Otherwise, you get depressed. Yeah. Once you get depressed, then you start romanticizing your depression. You like to get depressed. You start feeling that depression is good. You want to stay in that mood. So you don't want to fall for that. Questions, please ask some questions. Maybe related to the chapter, related to the book, related to something else, related to your marriage, related to your life, related to your trauma, related to one of your client, related to something else, something stupid, something funny, or something crazy. Or you want some request. Write down in the chat. Think. Don't think, right? My dear Nupur, you WhatsApp me and I will send you the payment link right now and you join the class, dear. From Sunday, you attend. And I will talk to you, Nupur, today. Yeah? You have to pay the fees. So before sending me WhatsApp, make sure that you are ready to pay the fees. You will get some clients, and they will ask, ma'am, what is your fees? You say 1,500 rupees per session. They will say, can you reduce it? So you say, okay. Yeah. And they will say, ma'am, I will get back to you. Hey, I'm going to come to your home and kill you now. You came to me, you asked me my fees, then you asked for discount. I gave you discount, and now you say, I will come back to you. Hey, I will come back to you now and haunt you forever. That is so bad. Yeah, you cannot do that. Then there are some clients who prefer to eat pizza, drink alcohol for 1,600 rupees. Why 1,600? Because the wine, red wine, that is a cost, which I know. Yeah. So they will spend that money, but they are not ready to spend money on a counselor or a therapist to get healed and to earn more money. Hey, what is your problem? I tell you, what is your problem? Your problem is you are living your life like this. And there is a potential in you. You can earn more. You can be happy. You can have better relationship. You can be a better person, a productive person in your society. But what do you choose? You choose this. The problem is your synapses are connected this way. You are going to stay like this and die like this. If you want to change your synapses and make your trajectory like this, come to me. I will help you. I'm going to charge you, but not do free. Because if I do free, there is no value. Yes, it happens. Those who are attending Sunday classes can reply, please. Does it happen? Have you learned or no shirt story? Okay, I think I have not done this for this class. Page number 100. No shirt. Why I need to open the book to read the no shirt story? Because the story is not written on the in the book itself. Okay, anyways. So it's like sometimes you are absent-minded and you do something stupid and foolish things, and then you laugh at yourself. If you laugh at yourself, that's a good thing. Yeah, because you are crazy. How many of you are crazy? Please write down the chat. Very good. So you should write completely, I'm crazy. Yeah, very good. If sometimes crazy, the diagnosis is difficult. That changes the diagnosis. Okay. If you are sometimes crazy, either you have bipolar disorder, which is a less difficult scenario, or you have some difficult condition. If you are always crazy, that is a good thing. Okay. Secret of happiness is having no shirt. The story of no shirt. There was a king. He had a vast kingdom. His subjects were very loyal. They used to love him, that our king is very good, and he used to treat them well also. There is a reciprocation. He had wives, children's, grandchildren's, everything is there. He's not happy. He has fought many battles. He has lost some battle, expected. Right? He is not depressed because of that, expected. And he won some battles. And everything is good. But he's like, I'm not happy. Then he talks to his ministers. Hey, you need to find what is the problem. What you need to find. Hey, tell that Dr. Pawan Mittal to come and do my psychotherapy. So he's like that. So I'm like, sir, actually, my fees is very high. You cannot afford, though you are the king. So I will send one of my counselors. She will charge 5,000 only. So I sent someone. And then he asked this psychotherapist, a Pandit. So he asked his Dr. Pandit, hey, what is the problem? What do you think? You got training from Dr. Mittal and you was telling that what is the problem? Why I'm not happy? Tell me. So he takes all the history and identifies that actually, sir, no, I do not know your problem, but I can tell you one method to become happy. Yeah, because I don't see any problem with you. You don't have PTSD, you don't have anxiety, you don't have depression, you don't have OCD, you don't have ADHD. You're a good king. You fought. So there is a treatment for you. You need to wear a shirt worn by happy person, happiest person. Then in the kingdom, then he says, oh, that's so easy. Wow. So I will send my soldiers and some people to find out the happiest person in the kingdom. I will wear his shirt. Wow, that's a good solution. I like you. Take your fees and go. Then he sends his army and the ministers all over the kingdom and they try to search. Then they see one joker laughing and all those things. So they ask, hey, are you happy? Joker says, no, actually, I'm very sad and all those things. I do it for acting. Then they visited, but then someone told them that, actually the happy people, they are not laughing. They are sitting like monks, they are meditating and they are feeling inner happiness. So we should visit some monks. Then they visit some monks and they say that, are you happy, monks? So all monks say, we are not happy. So they are like, oh no. Then someone else suggests them, actually, you should visit some people who are doing havans, rituals, and puja and all those things. So maybe, yeah, some Rishi Munis. So they visit them and they say, they see some people performing havans of 30 days, 40 days. They ask them, are you happy? So all those Rishi Munis say, no, we are not happy. That's why we are doing all these things. Then they go to different places and try to find any happy person. Completely disappointed. Yeah. Many weeks go by and they are now disappointed. They are trying to come back to the king. And they are very afraid. How should I tell the king that we could not find the happiest person? The king had the impression that my kingdom is very happy. Yeah. My uh, people are very happy. And we could not find a single happy person. He will be very disappointed. Not because we did not find the shirt, but because he's a bad king at all. Yeah. So that was a fear. And while coming back, they saw one form. And around that form, there is one kind of a beggar kind of a person who is in torn clothes, rags, and not taking care of hair, no comb, nothing. And he's looking crazy, but he's laughing. He's happy. He looks happy outwardly at least. And then soldiers are like, I will go and ask. Then minister is like, one of the minister. So one of the minister is, hey, don't go there. He is a beggar. How he can be happy? Yeah. And he is just a crazy person. Yeah, he's crazy. Then soldiers come back. But there is one minister, he says, actually, we don't have any option. We have exhausted all the list, all the people. We should give it a try, asking just a question. Then soldiers go to this beggar who is in the rags and laughing and smiling and cheerful and everything and ask, excuse me, sir, are you happy? So he says, yeah, I'm happy. Soldiers are so excited. Yeah, we found that person. Yes, take this person. So they give him all the things and put him in the palki or the chariot and make him come to the king. And the king is so excited to receive him, gives him a grand welcome and receives him, this beggar. And king wants to confirm. Yeah. So that are you, sir? Actually, I have been advised by Dr. Mittal to wear a shirt worn by a happy person. So are you that happy person? So the beggar says, yeah, I am happy. The king says, okay, the problem is solved. So I will have your shirt and I will give you whatever you want. I will give you 100 shirts. I will give you gold of your weight. I will give you one shirt made of gold. Everything I will give you. Just give me your shirt, sir. So the beggar starts laughing. And everyone's puzzled. What is this insulting way? The beggar is laughing in front of the king. The king has requested for the shirt and is laughing. What is this stupidity? So the beggar says, sir, I don't have the shirt. So here, the shirt is the desire. So I don't have the desire to do certain things. I'm happy in whatever I have. Sir, you are a king. You have everything a man can have. And you are still not happy because you are looking for something beyond that. What makes you happy? For this, there is a painting. The name of it painting is You Are My Galaxy. What did you like most in this painting? So there is a couple, the hut with the lantern, some water, mountain, trees, the night sky. What did you like in this painting? I should review this, I think. Write on the chat, what did you like in this painting? I will explain you. Name of painting is You Are My Galaxy. You know, we spend lifetime for finding the one in your life. And even after marriage, we are always thinking sometimes, some people are thinking that the other person, the husband of my friend or the wife of my friend or my relative is a better person. Yeah. And you always expect or desire to have a better partner, better someone, or maybe a better self. Don't waste your life trying to find someone you don't have. You find your galaxy, you find your star in the one who you have. Don't try to find your galaxy outside. So you are my galaxy. Yeah. So whatever you have, this applies in your relationship, this applies in your job, this applies in your career, this applies in the new path if you have chosen something, this applies in whatever skills, intellectual you have. The objective is to live a happy life. Be happy. The name of painting is Happiness. Happy family. Even if you have the basic house, you live in the nature, you have two kids who are fishing. When you come back home, you have a spouse or someone who loves you and hugs you. That is your happy life. When this painting talks about the happy life, it doesn't say that don't have expectations, don't have aspirations. You are a human being. You are not a cow. That, okay, today I get a bath, massage, milking, I'm happy. No, we are human beings. We are supposed to have aspirations. Though this looks like a small house, this complete land, this complete lake belongs to this couple. So they are rich because they have aspirations. So the objective of life is to live happy. You should have aspirations. You want to grow to those aspirations. While you are trying to grow, while you're trying to fight, whatever you have presently, you should be happy. Happiness is not something after I get this, then I become happy. Yeah. So happiness is something what I have today in whatever scenario. Smile. That makes your brain think that you are happy. That releases happy hormone. How to become happy? How to become happy? Yeah. Smile. Attend the classes with video on. Read the book. Help people overcome their emotional turbulence. When you help someone, when you help people overcome their emotional turbulence, you get their blessings. You feel happy. You feel that you have done something worth contributing. You are moving in your life for doing something good. You have a mission of your life. If you do artwork, if you paint like this, or you write like this, you can get your artwork published on artforfun.in. This is a platform which I sponsor. I will write down here. You can see that in my WhatsApp profile, artforfun.in. If you do any kind of artwork, either it is a pottery, sculpture, 3D art, painting, water painting, or some stupid doodles, not a big thing. You do something stupid, but you like it. You want to get appreciation. When you get appreciation, it releases your dopamine. You feel good. You do it more. You utilize this dopamine, you utilize this passion for something, your career. That's why this platform is there. Because you are my student, there is no charge for my students and our clients, the clients of all those who are working with me. Then if you write some story, poem, blogs, essays, there is a platform, Heart to Paper. Both these platforms are mentioned in my WhatsApp profile as well. You can check it from there in the catalog. For both these platforms, you take maximum benefit of it. If you're a person who has a second life event, yeah, you've gone through some trauma, some scenario, some circumstances, either it was financial crisis, spiritual crisis, marriage crisis, health crisis. Either you're fighting or you came back. To write your story, there is a second life platform. So you can publish your story on second life platform. When you do that, remember that someone is there who is also going through the same incidents and she wants to give hope. And she will read this story. Life will bring your story to her. When you publish your story, that further motivates you. When on the day you feel sad, you go on this website, read your story from the link, you will remember that that was such a big event of your life, crisis. You came back. If you had a career break, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, because of child or family or anything or marriage, for any reason, and now you're trying to come back, this itself is a second life. It is very tough to come back again in career. If you're trying to change your career from one field to another, like I shifted my career from law to psychology, it itself is a second life. And that's why I have created multiple platforms to support you. And I have created a path to help you go through that. Starting with the knowledge, the learnings for psychotherapy program, as well as psychology counseling, the book, internship, so that you can practice on real clients, live clients, online consultation as per your convenient time. And after the internship, you get attachment with me and start getting paid clients. You earn lifetime. Either you do your present job or completely get full time into this. Both the options are there. I always tell people, if you have a job, you should leave it once the earning with my help matches this earning. Then you should leave this job. Till that time, you should continue because you need money. All those people who say money cannot buy happiness are either foolish, poor, or extremely rich. And they are trying to fool other people so that they don't have aspirations. If your child wants to eat pizza today, that gives her happiness. That gives you happiness that you are able to fulfill the child's need. She wants 500 rupees pizza, not this low cost, lowest pizza. No. After the pizza, she wants the ice cream. After the ice cream, she wants to buy the dress, wants to buy the toy. She will forget that incidents. You will not forget. That brings you happiness. Utilize these platforms, take their help so that someone of your life, past friend, schoolmate, workmate, college mate, is trying to search for your name and see and feel good. Hey, what she's doing, she must be a housewife, or she must be stuck in that old job. So when she sees your profile somewhere else, sees your name someplace, multiple places, you feel good. Yeah. And when your client is trying to find you, they are searching for you. They will find you at multiple places. I own multiple platforms, including professional platforms also for psychology counseling, marriage counseling, all those, grief counseling. Yeah. So those who do the internship and after that get attachment with me, they get those opportunities for those platforms. You will come to know when the time comes which platform best to use. For the time being, as a student, you will use these three platforms. And if you want to learn marriage counseling, you can always use relatepillar.in.com.in. Please check in my WhatsApp profile. I think it is .com, relatepillar.com, because it's my trademark. No one has this domain name. And if you are already practicing or you are going to practice, land up in some legal trouble, some client is blackmailing you, troubling you, or some competitor is troubling you, which happens most commonly, more commonly actually. Competitors write some reviews or write something about you on Facebook, on your profile, or they do something mischievous, some people. You can take help of my legal agency, law firm, legalwise.in, www.legalwise.in. I still have my license active, but I don't use it. So I have a small team of lawyers. They will take care of it. Legalwise is a paid service. Enjoyed? If you wish to, you be in touch with your mentor, the allocated mentors, respective mentors, as per their timing. If you're my student, you can contact me Monday to Friday, 1 to 5 p.m. After 5, no WhatsApp, no calls. And if you have emergency, you can visit your nearest hospital. See you next Sunday, coming Sunday. Yeah. Have a great time. Bye.